What's going on YouTube? Mark Fleetwood here. Welcome back to the Daily Grind Trader. Today I've got a very, very special guest because I've got the man, the myth, the legend of legends himself, Mr. Nix from Pikamoon Co-Founder Nix. It's amazing to have you here. Thank you so much for your time.
No worries at all. We've obviously become great friends, so it's only my full respect to give it straight back to you. It's great to be here, and I can't wait to share some alpha throughout this show for everyone who's watching.
Awesome. Can't wait for that, buddy. Can't wait. So first things first, a lot of people that I've talked to want to know what is your history with crypto and gaming in general?
Yeah, no, of course. It's a very broad question from me. From the young age, we obviously grew up in a very gaming narrow road. Well, I did anyway. From the likes of Crash Bandicoot, coming from the PlayStation 1s back to the GameCube, even having one of those retro card games that you plug in. So I've seen it and played on a lot of consoles, from web to iPhone to everything. And there's been a lot of games that have intrigued me over the years. But obviously, one of those big ones is obviously going to be Pokemon. You've got Fortnite, Call of Duty, FIFA, Spyro, Sly, Crash Bandicoot, The Simpsons. It's a very big world outside of something where you can escape, and it's what so many people do these days. Growing up, I've seen it push towards a massive wider scope than just a game now. People almost use it sometimes as their identity. You see massive events. And I've also been involved in the FIFA Interactive World Cup back in the day. So back when FIFA wasn't so almost robotic, and it was just more like a games called like the old arcade games you'd get. I was 52nd ranked in the world out of about 256,000 people. And that was something that I did, but I moved over to a bit more FIFA Ultimate Team, which we have incorporated that marketplace into Pikamoon, because it's so that is the reason FIFA does so well these days. It is normally because of the Ultimate Team aspect. They sell packs, they have new players pop up, they generate creating additional items which you can add onto these NFTs, and that's something that we really want to move into. But in terms of crypto, what I've been doing, I started back in 2016, I think it was, maybe even before that. Back in the days when you would send money to some random guy and you would wait for your Bitcoin and hopefully it would come your way. And like, I think the longest I had to wait was about 36 hours. And it's that whole thing of it's quite a bit of money, because back then, obviously, crypto's not in that euphoria stage where it's in the past the 20,000 or anything. That's back when it was trying to reach those stages. So it was quite a bit of a movement. But then obviously you get your Bitcoin, you'd hold it in your wallet. But you wouldn't really be able to do it with it as much, not go to exchanges. It would literally just be hold. And that was the kind of thing behind it. It became a bit more like gold. And that's why it's a bit more of a store of investment. Whereas then you've got other things now popping up, such as it's now just not gold, you've got the FX exchange. And that's exactly what crypto is doing in my eyes. When you really deep down think about it, it's a pretty simple way of looking at it. But you've got Bitcoin as the gold, then you're going to have all these other companies, which are just the same as all these FX companies, all these businesses in real life, but now they're just on the internet. And it's just that thing of, once you accept the fact that it's exactly the same, but just in a different narrative, for me, you're doing exactly the same thing. And it's just about turning that information, using it to the best of your advantage, and scaling in to a completely different narrative of where the community has a say. We are here every day. I don't see many projects that are respectfully to them, here talking this early in their stages, because they don't believe in what they're building, whereas we have a full game ready to go. Like the beta's coming in a few weeks on the App Store and Google Play Store, which we know is hopefully going to change it. But for crypto myself, I've been involved in 50 plus project mints, been rugged once. The rest of them I pretty much made a profit on or helped that project grow in some sort of way. I also was on a previous project which I did have a falling out with their founder because he kind of tried to blackmail me, but we won't get into that either. So it's, but yeah, I helped that comment, and it was sort of grow in a way that, I mean, it sold out in 16 seconds.
Oh, wow.
So, and that, I think that project raised about $400,000 in around about 4 days. So that was a very quick project, but I mean, they're still thriving in an ecosystem. So yeah, it's been a very long road for me. I've been learning crypto every day for the last 4.5 years, being 24/7 every day, watching a video, reading something, doing a trade. So yeah, that's hopefully answers that question for you in a bit more detail.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate it. And getting back to the early days, I think I started in crypto in 2017, and it was some of the early exchanges, some of the early, especially like the early decentralized exchanges. Like I look back now and like they're just like they don't even exist anymore. But I'm like, man, that was sketchier than I remember it being.
Yeah. Sorry, I've got every single time that I'm doing something, I've got to reply to messages all the time. So, excuse me if I'm trying to do two things at once.
Oh.
But no, yeah, it's a very, yeah, like you say, it's a different place now.
Yeah, absolutely, and no worries. And I know you're a busy man. Again, that's why I definitely appreciate your time. So, people who are traditional old school gamers who want to come here really don't have the crypto sense. How would you describe the difference between Web 2 and Web 3 gaming?
Cool. So, Web 2 gaming for me is you're able to access an app or a system without having to change your currency. For me, like that's kind of the narrative you're looking at, because in Web3 a lot of it is about investment. It's about how big can the company grow, can we help this business thrive because we believe in what it's doing, we want it to do well, we love the idea of the game, and it's that interest you're trying to grab with Web3. Whereas in Web2 it's sort of, here it is, either you like it or you don't. It's the whole idea of, for instance, Mark, if you were going to say to me, we should do this, I would listen to you and I would take it on board. Whereas those decisions have already been made, and yeah, that makes it great for the people that have created that idea. But for what's in front of them, whereas everybody in Web3 has seen the business grow, they've been involved in the conversation. We're actually doing chats with people where in my DMs, I try to reply to everyone. Obviously, it's such a hard task, but you don't see that in Web 2. Like the bridge between the business and the customer is so far. But for me in Web 3, it's actually sort of bridging that gap. Like you're here to not just show that you've got a great business, but that your intentions behind it are the right ones. And that's where, for us, the play to earn system is going to work really well. Because realistically, if you got in on phase one on this project, you were buying your $100 of PIKA tokens, you got a free NFT, you're going to be able to stake those PIKA tokens to earn while you earn with your NFT, which you could then sell later on the market. So realistically, it's sort of you can't really lose, because there's always going to be project funds there from the day one. It's going to grow what we have planned for the future. The building hasn't stopped. The game is coming, whether people like it or not. And for me, that's the difference. It's, you only sort of hear what you see, whereas in crypto and Web3, you sort of see what you hear. But that's just a little bit of how I see it anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. That makes perfect sense. And I try to give people an analogy, something, that a lot of people have, played, especially with mobile games. you look at something like Clash of Clans, and you can take $10 and buy a pack of gems. Now you can't do anything with those gems, but use them to do stuff in the game. You don't actually own them. You just, it's an allowance to you. Whereas with Pikamoon, you buy your tokens, or you buy tokens in the game, or if you get an NFT in the game, you actually have your ownership of that. You have an investment in that game that you can withdraw if you like.
Yeah, exactly, and it gives it back more to the people. For instance, your funds are kind of locked in Web 2. So, for instance, if you're buying into any business or ecosystem or any product, unless you get those funds back, then you get a gift card. That's probably the best way you could go about it. Is going to Argos, buying an item. Oh, we can't refund you, but we'll give you a gift card. So you're still in that ecosystem. Whereas in crypto, you can buy Pika, but you don't have to revert. Your choice is you can revert to your previous currency. You may have won or lost, but with what you can gain within Pika from NFTs and everything of the Web3 side, you're gaining so much more because the value is going to be there. And especially in a crypto bull market, which does seem like it could be on the verge. Obviously, there could be dips, there could be moves, but in that recognition, you're going to be gaining a lot more right now if you research and do your own research in these worst times, and the good times are coming.
Yeah, absolutely. And this week has been I think an awakening for a lot of people that we're probably closer to spring now than we've been in a deep crypto winter, and I think spring is coming.
Yeah, no, it's one of those things. I think about 2.5 years ago, I did a chart analysis where all I did was from the very first peak of the last crypto bull run to every peak before that. I ranged the days, so it was around about roughly 1,064 days until the new bull market started, and that comes into around about the halving. So my prediction, don't say it, this is not financial advice. I'm just saying, but it was 64K by April.
Okay, no, that definitely makes sense to be starting to push back around the previous all-time high by the halving event, and that makes total sense there. So my next question is in regards to the PikaVerse, and you may or may not be able to get into this. So if you can't, then that's totally fine. But in the PikaVerse, will there be the availability to have plots of land or housing within the PikaVerse?
Yeah, so originally it's going to be the obviously NFTs. Everyone's going to sort of learn the map because you don't want to scale too quickly while there's so much to learn. Yeah, it's great that can happen and that will happen. Like you say, we are going to have land which you can purchase. You'll be able to even take sponsorship because we want this PikaVerse to almost turn into the new Earth of Web3.
Okay.
Like because we're going to have you'll be able to chat to everyone. But when you go and actually do it like let's say Sims, for instance, you go or some of the old PlayStation maps where the home hub, you go in and you speak to random people and it would be quite minimal. Now, this is going to be a full-scale roam game where you can actually go and earn when you want, go and relax when you want, go and free roam, do a campaign mode. So it's almost like igniting the game world with Web3, pushing it together, and then just adding crypto on top, which for us is the way it should be. Because if you can build the most unreal game that has got everything, has got the idea of battles where you can just walk in if you've got the NFTs and then win money. And then if you just want to enjoy the game because you want to get out of the in real life problems you've got and take your mind away from the idea of something that might just need a little bit of time from. That for me is so much more rewarding than being able to say like my game has earned the most money, it's the top market cap. Like imagine people enjoying what they're playing and saying thank you for building the most unreal game, because we know if we build this and the way it's going, what I'm seeing, what everybody's about to experience, that is going to be the difference between everyone else. because no one believes in their project like we do. I'm here every single day, showing up, showing face, because no matter what happens, I know my intentions are going to be right for this PikaVerse. We've got infected areas where instead of cordoned off positions, what you can actually do is a battle will appear, but it will actually get harder. So, for instance, it will just get harder and harder. So, if you complete this battle, the further you turn, it will get harder until you are defeated, and then it will bring you back to the arena. So, it's a very different way of how we're doing it, and we want people to be able to experience this when it comes out next year. Obviously, we've got the beta coming, which will just be the battle arena, which will be straight on the Google Play and App Store. But the PikaVerse is going to be like nothing we've ever seen. A mix of Fortnite, Pokemon, FIFA Marketplace, Tamadoge, so many more games incorporated into this, with the card system coming to play as well.
Awesome, awesome, man. I'm glad to hear that. It's actually even more expansive than I had anticipated.
Yeah,
So
yeah. The idea we wanted to do was the battle arena is kind of like a chess game. So it's the whole system of the tactical moves of you fight, we fight, you fight, we fight, you fight, we fight, you fight until checkmate.
okay.
You know, it's that's and people love that system. You know, I've seen it on previous games that are now worth billions. Like, and I've actually experienced playing. I've spent money myself because that was the research I was doing in the lead up to what we wanted to do. Like, it's that thing of you grow up knowing what you want to do without knowing what you want to do. All the skills that I've done in the lead up to this are beneficial in every single way. I mean, I can go out and film, edit a movie in a few hours and then move on to the next task, whereas people need full teams to do that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's just a little bit more for you guys.
Absolutely. I mean, that's I can't wait. I saw the in the white paper. I saw the battle system and some early layouts of how the battle system would work, and it was interesting, and it made sense in the way that it had a very good balance to it. So with the PikaVerse, it kind of leads into my next question as to how will the Pika token function within the game, and then with NFTs, I know that pre-sale, people who are buying in, early investors, get their free minted NFTs, which is awesome, and you can talk about that a little bit more if you like. But will there be like random NFT drops within the game?
Yeah. So obviously we're going to have big tournaments, big events within the game. What this will mean is that you can actually win NFTs. You can win Pika. So the idea is this ecosystem won't ever stop running, because every sale we have a tax of 2.5%. Now that goes to marketing, that goes into building, and that goes into the play to earn ecosystem. So the funds will always be going in because people will be selling, people will be buying. But with the Pika token, you'll actually be able to purchase in-game items which will boost your earnings. So what you have to think of this is, in your job or any business, you invest to be the best. And that is going to be exactly the same as Pika. For instance, if you got a God card and then you're like, right, I want Max's level out, and you bought as many items with your Pika tokens, then your NFT would literally win every game, and your APY or APR would be absolutely through the roof, because every win would be monstrous. It would be the full max rewards, which will be released very soon. But with those rewards, you can then turn them straight into another currency. You can use that as your earning system, or you can then put it into staking, where you can actually stake your Pika. So you can actually create a full ecosystem where you're earning completely and every single moment, where you're earning with your NFT, you earn more Pika, you put that into staking, then with that staking funds, you can either reinvest them back into staking, buy another NFT, and then start earning with that NFT and grow your position again and again and again. And obviously with that, it will mean that you're one of the top earners. You'll obviously receive massive whale benefits, because we obviously believe that if you are a full believer in what we're building, and you actually aren't just here for crypto, but you're here for the game as well. We want you to be fully involved in all of this. And in terms of the free NFTs, the reason we've done that is because we believe that your sort of money gets locked up and it becomes illiquid from the very day one. I've seen it with so many projects, and because the money invested sort of is given to a project that has a goal, but they don't have sort of the end in sight. It's always a point to no return, whereas we have planned for like the next 5 to 10 years already. And the reason we've done that is because these free NFTs will allow people everywhere in the world, no matter where you are, to actually earn an income. And depending on the price of the floor price, because if the earnings become that you every day you're earning $2,000 or $20,000 when the bull market comes, I've seen crazier things, trust me. The NFTs are going to be worth, they're going to be the price of apes, and they were like millions of dollars, because it's that whole thing of your investment against reward. And in a bull market, literally everything goes crazy. And with what could be about to happen with the ETF system, I even played it myself, and it's how I learned about play to earn a lot, because it was how can you transfer the tokenomics of a investment into something where people want to move and earn. Now, in 10 minutes, I was earning about $200 from just walking. And that was in the height of the bull market. Now, PIKA is going to have a full-fledged game which is free to play on the App Store, Google Play Store, just like how I don't even think that company even managed to get onto the Play Store. It was more you had to download an app in the original stage, but they were in their new or building stages, they were nowhere near as close to what we are. And as well with Sandbox, they only raised around about 3 million in their ICO, and we believe this is the worst time in crypto. So we've already raised more than that because our project is so unique, and the tokens are going to reflect that. For instance, in the future, we want merchandise, events, and it will become in real life that you can use PIKA, not just in the PikaVerse.
Awesome. I'm really excited to how this is all going to come together. I'm really excited to see, because I've been waiting now for a couple of years actually to have what I believe will be the breaking the dam moment of Web3 gaming, where the one that comes in and does it well and gets mass adoption will be opening the floodgates for other Web3 developers as far as gaming goes.
Yeah, no, it's something that I've seen a lot of projects, they over promise what they can deliver. Now we have obviously promised a lot, but because of the team behind us, such as Kaviru Games, they are quite a well-known team. They've obviously partnered with Lucasfilm, EA Electronics, Fortnite. The list goes on for them, and we're just going to be another one of their big teams that they can just write off and be like, yeah, job complete. But for us, it's going to be the moment where we realise that what we have in our hands is now way bigger than us. That we're actually going to hopefully create history within Web3. We don't want to just sort of be the narrative of getting crypto to make money. We want people to be educated before they get in. Do your own research, as everyone says, but how many people join Binance and still don't know how to earn on it? So yeah, there's a lot coming within PIKA, within the metaverse, within the whole world of gaming, but it's just got started. I don't see any narrative in that way. Every time I go to an event, gaming is gaming, play to earn, gaming. Oh, have you seen this game? And most people haven't even heard of us yet, which is the scary thing.
Yeah.
Because when you hit sort of the heights that we believe we can, and the marketing that we will be doing, it's just not ready. It's really going to shake up the space.
Awesome. So my last question is just, based on timelines? Do you have it? Do you have an anticipated timeline from going from beta to live game, and then an anticipated timeline where you believe that the pre-sale will finish?
Yeah, so in my eyes, the pre-sale obviously could finish at any moment because it's that whole thing of if we release our big marketing campaign that we've got coming, then it's the whole idea of boom, it could be sold out in a day, you know. So that's why we aren't really putting a number on the pre-sale ending
Okay.
because we've got sort of the moves in our back pockets to end it as quickly as we want. But with Bitcoin still in a stagnant place and no certainty over the speculation of the news, no, I can see it on the sheets and I can see everyone's bullish. Even myself, I'm very bullish. But you've always got to have a backup plan. And if we use any of the things that we have saved at the wrong moment, it's the whole thing of our previous planning and our blueprint, which we have planned for years. I mean, years. These ideas have been coming left, right, and center, which we've just been gathering together. All goes out the window. And there's no point in rushing something because one person in Telegram says, I thought this would be ended now. And we were like, we didn't. We just got a massive run where we did amazing because our project is one of a kind.
Yeah.
Now, in terms of the game, the beta will be out in a few weeks. I can guarantee that. We obviously want to make sure it's perfect. Now, with going on a big thing like the App Store, Google Play Store, it has to be perfect from the moment. Obviously, there could be a few issues when we go live, but in terms of bugs and things, we want all of those pretty much cut out so that you guys can just experience and enjoy the life of the Pika Battle Arena. But moving on from that, we'll obviously have the NFTs coming out live with the token, then staking straight away. Plus, then we move on to the PikaVerse going live in 2024. So that will be next year. So everything is still as a go. There's been no change in our plan whatsoever. It has literally been executed perfectly. And why we decided to launch when we did, obviously, because I did my theory. And so far, my theory is playing out pretty much spot on. But we will look to move that. And we want to be almost the guide in that because so many times in the years I've been in crypto, I've jumped at the pace to try and earn money or jumped at the pace to jump in a project. And it can get you very wrecked because you're so excited. And we just want to guide people and make everyone a bit patient, enjoy the experience of being with a team that know what they're doing and that can help you along the way, not just in Pika, but will help you in your questions in the entire crypto space.
Yeah, absolutely. And I tell everybody, that you have to do your own due diligence. You have to do your own research, and you have to kind of put that disclaimer out there all the time. But doing my research with Pikamoon, even before I got into a Telegram group and met you, and it feels like we've known each other for years now, and it's only been since April, really. But seeing what you guys had done already, what you already had planned with, you had an on-off ramp partnership already. You had Ethereum and Metaverse X, and you had Karuvu Games. So everything that was there was, you had kind of sectionalized everything to where you had this taken care of, you had this aspect taken care of, you had this aspect taken care of, and that means a lot because so many people don't have all the little details taken care of, and I saw that immediately with you guys.
Yeah, and it was something that we actually have obviously done behind the scenes. We've been through so many devs. We've used our own funds to create a team which we can trust. That's not cheap in itself because you're looking for the best people. And it's a fact of right. You're unfortunately not you can't do the job. And it's that very being brutal but being honest, and we obviously are very fair with everyone. Everyone on our team's very happy. You never see anyone complaining. Everyone's working all the time because we are here for everyone. And it's trying to push that into everything you're doing. You know, if you can leave everyone to work by themselves and trust everyone, those little things that people would be like, oh, I won't do that, or I'll leave that, or I'll wait till next week. You know, that all goes out the window. So it's now like, oh, we need this done. Right, I'll have it done in a couple of hours. And that's why our team is so effective, because even behind me now, I've got boxes behind me which I'm sending hats out to people free, because we want to show our gratitude to everyone who's getting involved with this, because I want to actually come and meet you. Like, we are doing a PIKA Global series where I meet people on camera and show them more alpha in person, because we don't want to just leak this information worldwide, but the people we trust, our community members, they should be allowed to know extra info. And if they're willing to put up their time, be recorded, then they should be able to have their say on camera as well. Just like how I would let you talk whenever you wanted, Mark. You know, it's that whole thing, trust, respect, and it goes so far in this crypto space. Having somebody who's willing to be there every day, shows up, has no days off. You know, I haven't had a day off for, I don't know, maybe a year and a half, 2 years. But in crypto, you never do. So yeah, it's a very, very strong place we are in, and I can't wait to see where the future takes us, really.
Yeah. So last thing before we finish this up, well, first, I'm going to say, with the no days off, I remember, like, not even a minute off, the launch of the pre-sale, the whitelist launch. I think it was like you guys were on like a 36-hour marathon, just making sure everything was right, all the questions were answered. Someone was in Telegram the entire time while, you know, I mean, there's no way you guys could have anticipated the amount of people waiting on the website for that initial buy button to pop up.
Yeah, no, it was actually unmanageable. Like, what we had done has created such a good project that everyone wanted to be a part of it, that we couldn't take the load on the server. And that wasn't even because we didn't have the numbers. It was just because everyone who said they wanted to be a part of it brought everyone else with them. So it was like 3x the amount of people that had originally said they wanted to sign up.
Yeah.
And yeah, our servers overloaded. We had to fix the problem in around about 8 hours, and then we moved forward on that, and it blew up like straight. As soon as we went live, everyone was like, "Right, just call it off." And we're like, "No, we don't do that here. We work and we carry on. We make sure stuff goes live." And then we fixed the problem. It went live, and then the rest is history. The phase one sold out in 16 days or something like that.
Is there anything, any little nugget, any little sneak peek, anything that you can give me before we close this up? Any little thing for the viewers?
I can do. We had a few issues with my camera before, so let me just see if I can get this up on my other laptop. But it is one of those things of we really do want to change what we're doing, create new creatures, create new items. Like I can shed a bit of light just because I haven't got anything I want to share right now, but I will send something over to Mark if he wants to just plaster it up right here in front of us so that everyone can actually see one of the NFTs that's being created that we haven't shared with anyone. So I'll send that over to you, Mark, after, just to make it a bit more interesting for everyone.
Okay.
And then they can actually see the full view rather than me recording my screen. So yeah, a bit more professional. We like to keep it that way here. But there will be infected areas. What that means is you'll go into the battle arena. You'll take your Pikamoon, your NFTs that you've got there. Only people with NFTs will be able to enter these areas. And what that means is that you can then go and attack one of these bosses, try and claim the prizes that could be either Pika tokens, NFTs, items, packs, you know, special rewards, events, tickets, could be anything. But the idea is you can only do that with the NFTs, and that's why the NFTs are actually so valuable, and people are sleeping on them, because they will do a lot more than people think. And with the Pika token, it will only grow as more members join the game. And I think we're about 12 to 13k plus, roughly. Sorry, I've got my puppy with me as well.
No.
Elmo. Elmo, come on. Don't be a naughty Pikamoon. Right, yes. So yeah, it's a very. I'm just gonna get Elmo, come on. Off you go. Right. Yeah. Sorry about that, everyone.
No problem.
We've got to have a few friends while we do work 24/7. But yeah, it's gonna be the next hopefully big thing. But it's just a little insight as to what you can do in the arenas, in those battles, if you are playing with these NFTs, which will obviously grow in value as you level them up because you're going to be earning more with those NFTs anyway.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much for your time. I know you're busy. I know you've got back-to-back AMAs and calls and different things, and I can't wait. I can't wait for you to get to DC or anywhere on the East Coast, and I will find a way to meet you there.
Yeah, no worries at all. But yeah, I mean, I'm going to try and get to everyone worldwide. You're one of the first people I want to meet. Obviously, I want to try and see our main man Ethan as well. So it's a bit of a trio going on there. But there's so many people around the world that I want to try and see globally, and either shed some light onto the crypto space, or just make more friends, show a bit of trust, show a bit more alpha. So yeah, it's going to be a great day when we meet, Mark.
Absolutely. You take care, brother.
Cheers, mate. Thank you. Bye bye.